Let's now move on to the Julia Trivia quiz with our host Jeff Bezanson. Jeff is the co-creator of Julia Language and is also the co-founder of Julia Computing. As Jeff starts the quiz, a link will pop up at the top of the stream where you can participate. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, it's hard to follow Will Kahan. You know, he's been a big inspiration to many of us over the years. But now for something completely different. The first ever JuliaCon Julia Trivia quiz. I am your quiz master, fresh back from the edge of space, Jeff Bezanson. And got a lot of questions for you. Please go to this URL that's on the screen where you'll be able to compete and respond. And there are going to be prizes. So this is going to go quite fast. The way it's going to work is I'm going to click through. Let me share my screen first. Okay, I'm going to go through some slides, and for each question, first the question's going to come up. I'm going to read the question. Then the multiple choice answers will appear, and you will have about 10 seconds to answer. You won't be able to change your answer, so pick carefully and just pick once. And then after 10 seconds, the question will go away. It'll show the right answer, and we'll move on. Please do not use Google or the Julia REPL, although we can't check up on you on that. Just try not to, but also the goal is it's going to be fast enough that you probably won't really have time to do that. So let's see. Do we have any way of knowing how many people have connected? All right, yeah, does anyone else on the stream have any notion of if it's a good idea to start yet? Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead and start, Jeff.
Okay, so we've got a fair number of people watching. So without further ado, let's go to the first question. What is the issue number for taking vector transposes seriously? Okay, that's right. Yes, we see most people correctly remembered 4774. Okay. Now this thing is going to show a leaderboard each time, but I'm usually just going to click through it because it's not too interesting till we get to the end. All right. Which fun activity brought together some of the Julia language's creators? Is it surfing, volleyball, ultimate frisbee, or tennis? And okay, yeah, people remember that one. Which of the following functions in version 1.6 has the most methods? Is it convert, star, show, or iterate? All right, so that was star, in fact. Lots of ways to multiply things. Okay, which of these Julia releases had the most patch versions? Aha, very interesting. Wow, so that was actually 0.3. I thought a lot of people would get this one. That's really interesting. Okay, how many registered packages have names containing diff EQ? So that is, wow, okay, actually a lot of people got that one right. That's pretty cool. Maybe some people checked really quick. All right, Julia code question. What is the result of something, nothing, missing? And right, that is of course missing because something removes just the nothing part. All right, in which Julia version were multi-line comments, the sharp equals syntax, introduced? This, of course, was one of the most contentious, controversial pieces of syntax of all time, of course. Okay, yes, it was 0.3. That was quite an epic release. All right, which package by Simon Danish, author of many packages, was the immediate precursor to Mach-E? So there was one that was pretty much the immediate precursor to that, and that Mach-E neatly replaced. And which was it? Was it Visualize, GL Visualize, Web Visualize, or GL Mach-E? Okay, yes, that was GL Visualize. That is correct. I think a lot of people used that. All right, which GitHub org houses the query.jl package? Is it Julia Databases, Julia Data, Julia Query, or Queryverse? Okay, so that, of course, is the famous Queryverse. That's kind of a trick question. I'm glad I managed to trick some people. Okay, detail question. In Julia 1.6, the maximum number of method matches the type inference algorithm considers at a single call site changed. What is the new maximum number of matches that it will look into from a call site? This is not so easy. All right, so yeah, it used to be 4 and we changed it to 3. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. All right, which number is closest to the number of lines of Julia code.jl files in the base folder, version 1.6? Is it 77,000, 90,000, 105,000, or 120,000? Which is closest? Okay, yes, excellent, excellent guessing, or I don't know how people know that, but yeah, most people got that right. It's around 101, 105,000-ish. All right, who was the original sponsor of the Julia project? Was it Alan Edelman, Alan Alda, Julian Edelman, or Viral Shah? And follow-up question, who is the most Julian Edelman? Yes, of course. Oh, I love the people that answered Alan Alda. Thank you very much. That would be awesome. I wish that were true. Julian Edelman also would be really cool. Okay, Julia coding B. What is the L type of map throw on int empty array? Is it int, any, empty type, or does it throw an error? All right, yep, that is in fact the empty type because throw doesn't return. All right, which package's documentation does the following image appear in? All right, where would you find this cursed table? All right, yes, indeed, it is plots. It is the features and backends compatibility matrix excerpt from plots. I just find this thing so funny for some reason. It's just, it's very impressive, the work that's gone into all these combinations. It's pretty cool. All right, what is the default random number generation algorithm used as of Julia 1.7? So we changed it. It's new in 1.7. You might know it used to be Mersenne Twister prior to that, but 1.7 is changing it. And what is the new algorithm? Is it Zoshiro 256 plus plus, Zoshiro 256 star star, Zoroshiro 256 plus plus, or Zoroshiro 256 star star? It's a family of algorithms that's out there. Okay, it is in fact Zoshiro. So that of course stands for XOR shift rotate, and the others are XOR rotate shift rotate. And this is the one we are using now. I'm glad I tricked some more people. All right. What does base at pure do? As is when you put this macro on a function. Does it do nothing? Tell the compiler that a function has no side effects, crash your program, or D, all of the above. All right, the correct answer is all of the above. This is just my chance to make a little teaching moment out of the quiz here. This is kind of a joke question, but you know. All right, which of these packages do the most other packages depend on? So which has the most dependence? Is it requires, compat, data structures, or JLL wrappers? These are all very widely used packages. All right, compat is an excellent guess. That's the trick answer, but in fact, it is now JLL wrappers because that houses all of the binary dependencies, and there's a huge number of them. All right, which Julia GitHub org has the most repositories? This is kind of a follow-up question. Is it SciML, Julia binary wrappers, Julia IO, or Julia stats? Well, SciML has a lot of packages, but yes, it is in fact Julia binary wrappers. It probably would have been SciML as of, I don't know, a year or two ago, but with the activity that's been going on with binary wrappers, that is really just pulled into the lead. It's not really fair because there's just those things are just cranked out in large numbers, but that is in fact the answer. All right, which of these is responsible for maintaining Julia's performance? Is it a micromarine, a femtosailor, a nanosoldier, or a picopilot? And that, of course, is the nanosoldier, if anyone who has ever run benchmarks from GitHub knows. Okay, how many REPL modes ship with Julia by default? So that, of course, is 4. That is the standard mode, help, package, and shell, I believe. Okay, which site generator or site web page generation creation tool is used to build julialang.org? Is it Hugo, Jekyll, Jeannie, or Franklin? And that, of course, is the lovely Julia package, Franklin, as of now. Okay, which of the following is a correct iterate method definition for an empty iterator? If you were to define an empty iterator object, which of these would work? And ooh, I didn't expect this to be quite that tricky, but yes, you need the optional state argument because it can be called with or without the state argument, and for it to be done, you just return nothing. Okay, generator expression. Challenge question. So if I type this generator expression, I, for I in 1, for j in 2, if x, and I have that whole expression, what is the type of the result of that expression? So not the result of iterating it, just I typed that generator expression. What is the type of it? So it's going to be a type of iterator. Is it a generator, a flattened iterator, a filter iterator, or a product iterator? Oh, okay, yeah, so it definitely uses generators, but in fact, the outermost iterator is actually a flatten because the inside piece for j in 2 if x is itself an iterator, and the outer one wraps that in another iterator that generates those. So it's an iterator that generates iterators, and then we have to flatten it at the end. So in fact, at the outer level, it is a flatten. You can check that in the Julia REPL if you like. I'm pretty sure it's right. I think I checked it. If I'm wrong about it, I will feel really bad. But yeah, it's a flatten. Filter is also a really reasonable answer. I might have picked that myself. This is a really tricky one. All right, which function of these should you use to transpose a matrix of strings? So this is back into the whole unending debate about transposes and what they mean and how they work. Should you call a joint, transpose, single quote, or permute dims if you have a matrix of strings? Right, it is permute dims because the other ones attempt to operate on the elements as well. So that's what you have to use now. All right, what are the names of the fields of linear algebra.svd? So the SVD object in the standard linear algebra library, what are the fields inside of it? Oh, really close. Okay, yes, but we store them. We store the vector transposes, so it is USVT. All right. According to the performance section of the manual, type declarations are most helpful for performance when you put them on local variables, function arguments, return values, or struct fields. Which will generally do the most for performance? Yes, it is struct fields. All right. The popular in the Julia world, Julia monofont, comes in many variations, the standard typeface variations. Many people are using it. Which variation is the Julia monofont not yet available in? So does it lack condensed, black, semi-bold, or light? Ah, very good. You people know your typefaces. Excellent. Yes, it does not yet have condensed. I don't know why you would want condensed. I don't think I would ever use it. So just as well. What is the most starred on GitHub Julia package as of yesterday-ish? Because this could be changing a little bit rapidly, but as of say before JuliaCon, which has the most stars? Is it differential equations, Flux, iJulia, or Pluto? That's right. It is, in fact, Flux. I think Pluto is extremely close. They are really, really close right now, catching up rapidly. All right, what is the operation f dot parentheses of x called? Is it dot, broadcast, element-wise, or point? Yes, of course it is broadcast. All right, what is the vertical bar greater than operator called? Is it pipe, triangle, apply, or pipeline? And yes, most people know it is usually called pipe. All right, what is the most commonly used open source license for Julia packages? And that, of course, is the MIT license that we like so well. How many JuliaCons have there been, including this one? So including this one, total number of JuliaCons that have ever happened. Is it 6, 7, 8, or 9? And yes, it is 8, having begun in 2014. Which of the following packages is not part of the standard library? So that is the stdlib folder of the top level Julia tree. Which is not part of that? Statistics, test, dates, or threads? And yeah, statistics is still in there, but yeah, threads is part of base instead, so it is not in there. This one is maybe a little bit ambiguous because the repo structure is different than necessarily where it's eventually included. So this is slightly ambiguous, I admit. All right, so the base sort function is known for its rich option of keyword arguments, but which one of these is not among them? Which is not an accepted keyword argument to the base sort function? Yeah, oh, that's good. This was a tricky one, but it accepts LT for comparison, not GT. That is that's a little bit tricky, but good job, everyone. All right, for which Julia value x is type of x triple equal to x true? So which value is its own type? For which of these x's is that the case? Is it type, data type, the empty tuple, or missing?
Hey there, and welcome to the Chainless Talk. My name is Michal Skubic, and I'm a research software engineer at Venia Labs. Venia loves Julia. We use machine learning to optimize the electricity grids, and if you want more Julia and less emissions,
all right, I guess I've been cut off.
When I joined Venia about a year ago,
but we have the results.
A relatively mature project built by the open source community. So the disclaimer is that I'm just a messenger today, trying to do justice to the great work these people have done over the past few years. There are 3 main topics in today's talk: when to write rules, how
Thanks, Jeff. I think we can just continue with the stream and just let it conclude naturally. And thank you. You're cut off on the live web app, of course, which is unfortunate, but I think people on YouTube can still see you. Yeah. So and Jeff, if you could close the live web app maybe, and then unmute yourself, and maybe we'll just finish the stream. Jeff, you're still muted. Okay. Yeah, Sanjit, go for it. Let's thank Jeff and close the stream.
Thank you, Jeff. That was fun. With this, we end our first live session. Please join us on GatherTown for our first social event of this conference today from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. UTC. And do use our live web app and Discord. Enjoy the conference ahead. Thank you.